Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Welcome back to another episode of the Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin. And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of entrepreneurs, and even if you're not an entrepreneur, a lot of people make mistakes in this area. And that is plan from the stars down. What do I mean by this? You know, so often you see people running around. As a matter of fact, I was at a dental conference just recently. I spoke at it. And I saw this group of dentists, many in the audience, were just running around trying to figure out how to grow their business with no end goal in sight, no end goal in mind. Didn't even know where they were going. Just wanted to grow, wanted something to happen, and they were plugging in all these different tactics and tools and strategies without knowing where they were going. Look, when you're building a house, you build it from the ground up, but you've got to plan it from the stars down. If you went out and you were a builder, and you started to build a house, but you weren't working off a set of blueprints, what would end up happening? You'd start putting this thing together. As a matter of fact, if you had multiple people on the team, everyone would start doing their own thing. And all of a sudden, within moments, you would have this disaster on your hands because nobody knew what they were working towards. When NASA was designing or wanted to send a man to the moon, they didn't say, okay, let's figure out how to build a spaceship that will take somebody from Earth, propel them towards the moon, and that's our objective. No, the objective was, how do we get a man to the moon and back safely? So they started from the stars and worked backwards. Or in this case, actually, they started from the ground as it was landing. If we were going to have a vehicle land men back on Earth safely, what would be the next step before that? And they take it all the way back to the point is, okay, now how do we get someone off the ground into space? You've got to know your outcome. You've got to know what the end game is. And I can't tell you the number of clients that come to us, or prospects at the time come to us, and they're just scattered. And I don't know if this resonates with any of you. It's got to, because I see it all the time. But if you don't know where you're going, you just might end up getting somewhere that you never intended to get. Good friend of mine came to me recently, and she's thinking about selling her business. And she said, Thor, what do you think about me selling my business? I have no idea. Why are you considering selling your business? No answer. Well, a couple answers, it'd be nice to sell it. It'd be nice to get the money. Great. So is that in alignment with your vision? Is it in alignment with what you're trying to create for your life? If you don't have those answers, you don't know those destinations, stop making decisions, because what you're going to end up doing is creating chaos. Clarity is one of the most underrated things that you can have. When you have a clear vision of where you're going and opportunities and decisions come your way, it's very easy to make a very quick and decisive decision and subsequent action because you know where you are going. Now, look, I don't want to harp on this, but I feel like I have to. If you don't know where you're going, please take the time to start asking yourself great questions. We're coming at the end of the year. We talk about it every month here, talking about your annual planning. Take the time, disconnect, figure out where you're going, because there's multiple ways to get there. There's multiple paths you can take, but you've got to know where you're going. If you're struggling with this, I do this on all the podcasts that I'm interviewed on. If you're struggling and you don't know where you're going, drop me an email, thor@thorconklin.com. I'd be more than happy to jump on a quick phone call with you. I'd be more than happy to just answer a question. But it all starts with the end in mind. You've got to have a clear, vivid vision of what that is. And it changes from time to time. You've got to be checking in with this. So I wish you the absolute best. Figure out where you're going. And remember, you build from the ground up, but you plan from the stars down. Have a great week.